Welcome back to Transform and Roll Out Season 3 Eons with the special bonus episode 33. You can't possibly think that was it, did you? Well, what about their happy endings? What did they do afterwards? Let's take a special look at all our characters' epilogues. But first, we must introduce our players and their characters. So players, here's the plan. Name the bot who you will be playing based off the events of the previous episode, and give a brief description on what they look like and what may be going on in their brain module. Let's start with Lapis.
Hi guys, I'm Lapis. I play Scourge. She is a big, huge, dark colored dragon lady. She is purple and like a dark gray. She's got one red optic because the other one got poked out, and she's got dragon heads on her arms, kind of like gauntlets. And then, Scourge has a matrix now, so technically she's a prime. She's a little grumpy. She just lost Scorchfire, who she didn't really like, but rest in peace. And then I also play Smolder, who is a little 5 foot tall dragonfly. He is red, he has 4 arms, he's got wings on his back, and he's got a little visor instead of eyes. And he was dead, but now he's back, baby. He lives. And then finally, I play Frostfang. She is a big blue dragon who has huge wings on her back. She's got little yellow horns on her head, and she's got dragons on her shoulders, dragon heads on her shoulders like pauldrons. And yeah, she was dead as can be, and now she's back.
Wonderful descriptions. Hexamis, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Hexamis. I play as Synthwave, a mint green and fuchsia scuba. Turns into a little helicopter. Obviously, by the name, loves music. She's very bubbly and bouncy. And usually, aside her is her twin Cross Summit. I don't know if you also want me to describe Scorch.
No, they're dead.
Okay.
Oh no, my wife!
I wanted to check and make sure, but she did.
Only alive characters get described. Speaking of which,
right.
clickbait.
I'm so upset by that statement. Anyways, what's up guys? I'm Clickbait. I play Mantix, who is an ex-Decepticon, extra large grumpy seeker, dark and brooding. He also has a matrix now, transforms into an extra fancy F-22 Raptor. He is purple and black, and last we saw him, he saw the love of his life die right before him in his arms. It was really sad and I cried. And also I play Allegory, who is she was an Autobot intelligence officer, then she became a wrecker. She transforms into a Cybertronian jet. She has the ability to change colors, but then she was captured and experimented on by Tarantulas and Arachnid. And so I think now she's like patchwork, right? She's not 100% chrome anymore. I'm not entirely sure. It's a long time ago. And then she lost her memories, and then she died, and now she's back. And she's got a lot going on. She's got a lot going on.
That's an understatement.
And
Next
yeah, both
up,
my
we
characters
have-
are full of tragedy, apparently.
Full of tragedy. Celeste, you're up next.
Hello, my name is Celeste. I play as Domino Fabula. Also, she was known as Delina Fable when there was a moment she didn't have her matrix, but she got her matrix restored, so we're back to Domino Fabula. Currently, she does not have her original colors. She's still just pure white now. But she's still a big, strong, big lady now.
There we go. We like our big, giant women.
Yes, sir.
Kilobyte, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Kilobyte. I play Stormburst Convoy now that I have my Matrix back. Ooh, I was going to say red. He's orange, gray with an eye patch. He could turn red now that he has his Matrix back and go to his original form, but we will see. And then I also play Grease, a little mini-con who has multiple colored parts, big chin, a sideguard, and 3 optics. And they're just awaiting to see what the future holds.
Fantastic. And finally, I'm Onyx, and I'll be your DM, your Primus, your God for this round, and I also play as Scorchamus, a gender-bent shattered glass version of Scorchfire. He's a red male sports car, kind of sassy, kind of flirty, kind of a lot sometimes. Has a silly invisible power. Sad, but happy, because some of the people who have died are back. Are you all ready to get started?
Yes, more trouble
Go,
for our
let's
characters.
go.
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll get started with the Wreckers, specifically Synthwave and Frostfang. Synthwave and Frostfang, you awaken in your timeline and on your Cybertron. You seem to walk around a nightclub, not sure how you got there or when you got there. It is as though you just became aware of both your surroundings and all past events and your death and those who you immediately don't see. Cross Summit and Allegory. A bot bumps into you both on the dance floor and says, "Great club, Synthwave! Ah, Trio! What made you come up with a name like that for a club like this?" He seems to have his optics closed as his arms flap about. You don't recognize him, but as you look more around, you both see a fantastical DJing stage, and that Frostbang seems to be wearing a pin that says Bouncer.
So we don't know how we got here, right? We just kind of wake up in the situation.
Just like blink.
I look over at Synthwave and I look at the guy and I look back at Synthwave.
Blink.
How
Fra.
did we get here?
Synthwave firstly is gonna turn to the guy and be like, "Oh my god, thanks!" And then immediately flip to Frostfang I don't know, but they got some great tunes here. And she
Well,
gives kind of a very weak smile.
Apparently you own the place?
But where's everyone else? Where's Cross? Where's Allegory? I need Cross.
We could try contacting them. Do you want to send a comm or a text or something, and I'll try and get in contact with Allegory?
I'm gonna take Frostfang's hand, and I'm gonna hold it, and I'm gonna try and contact Cross Summit.
I'm holding your hand right back.
Thank you.
As you do that, we'll fade to black momentarily, but we will return. In the meantime, we're going to switch over to Domina. Are we going to switch over to Domina? I take that back. We're going to switch over to Scourge.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sorry.
say, sir, I wasn't
Take that
ready.
back.
Oh, I'm playing Scourge.
You'll be next. All right, we're going to switch over to Scourge. Scourge, you left the group shortly after as Scorchfire turned to ash, quickly and quietly without a sound or trace, flying towards the sky and using the nearby star to help block anyone who dared search the skies for them. Why would anyone look up? They just witnessed part of their world turn to ash, their friend. Scourge ignoring this thought and focusing on finally being free of Unicron, free of Galaxy Wave, free of chains and shackles, both metaphorically and physically. Scourge, your minicon snuggling close to you as you fly up and out of sight, venturing space and the abyss that transcends there. Weeks fly by until you find one, a planet where you can rest, where you can be free. A heavily forest space rock floating in the darkness of space. Wow, that's a lot of words for space. It appears to be small and not very populated, but never mind that, you can avoid them easily. You set down near a lake and your minicons hop down, but they never let go of your hands. You walk towards your reflection in the pool of liquid to study your face. What goes through your brain module, Scourge?
Oh, well, definitely that things have been a lot lately, but thankful to have all of my minicons back and excited at the prospect of being able to become my own person as opposed to just a slave to another ruler. And I'm pretty attached to keeping my minicons within view and just holding on to them. I am not losing these guys again.
And they are key on not losing you back, as they always seem to be within sight or holding your hand when possible. How do you spend the rest of your days?
Ooh, well, definitely taking some time to just kind of recover, for starters. Probably see about getting some sort of eye patch or something to cover my wonderful missing optic socket. But I think after a good portion of rest and just kind of being able to come to terms with everything that happened and testing out my new abilities as a technical prime with the Matrix and everything, I think after that, do kind of low-level bounty hunter type jobs. going out, taking out scum, turning them in for money so that I can provide for myself and my little mini cons, because I want to make sure that they can eat and have some energon and some snacks. And I also want to make sure that they have literally everything they could ever want.
With that, you become the legend on your planet, the legend of the Force, where the people folk or the bot folk give you rations as their form of sacrificing to a deity that protects them. That is their way of paying you back, and you become their hero, or god in their case, because you're a robot that does not age, but generations go by.
I think Scourge she's thrilled. She's thrilled to have that kind of power, but also not the responsibility necessarily of having to actively keep an eye on, a team. She can just kind of pop in and out, make sure everybody's doing all right. I think that it would be taken very, very seriously. Her job is kind of the protector, and she'd just take out any kind of threats that show up. Those guys ain't gonna make it through. This is her home, and this is where she's gonna live, and this is where all of her kids live. But that's just how it's gonna be.
And you remain there forever after the end. We fade to black. Domina, we're gonna back up a little bit and pick up where we left off from Scourge, but with the group, Domina, right after Scourge turned to Ash, you appear to be tapping on your wrist monitor, giving out a quick report before you give anyone else attention. Try to wait to Scorchimus before he wanders off or is trying to figure out things on his own. What do you do?
Domina's just making sure she's playing just about enough information for her team to find her.
Okay.
But you could see her, she's trying to hold back her tears because she is very, very sad because of losing Scorchfire. But she's glad that she was able to see that Frostfang was back in that flashback moment, and others who seem to have done a sacrifice for them to reach this far to defeat Unicron. Conflicted too with the remake of her Matrix. It's not fully original, but still there.
Mm-hmm.
And so once she sends the report, she tries to look over who she could talk to at least, and then she'll probably spot the Scorchimus if he's available.
Yeah, you see Scorchimus, you see Allegory, Stormburst, Mantix, and Smolder.
She'll wave over to man, I don't want to mix the names. Sorry. Like, wait, one's dead, one's not. She waves over to Scorchimus and heads over towards him and Allegory. She's very happy to see Allegory again, completely in one piece too.
Allegory, Scorchimus, how do they respond to Domina approaching?
Allegory is stunned, shocked. She's trying. I don't know how long it's been, but she's gonna spend a solid few minutes just processing everything that's coming back to her.
Right, because you just now witnessed someone turn to ash before your optics, and after that coming back to life, your brain module is trying to process all these experiments that Tarantulas and Arachnid performed on you, and the near death and actual death you experienced.
Yeah, yep. So she's very quiet. She's kind of out of it, but she definitely, when she first comes back, the first thing she would say is she would look at Scorchimus and she would tell him, Scorchimus, you came back for me. She just says it super quiet.
You're alive. I thought I lost you. It's going to be okay. I'll help you with anything you need. And at this point, we both notice Domina walking over.
I don't know what I need. She'll kind of slowly turn and look at Domina, but she doesn't really say anything. She's really quiet.
Domina walks closer to them, but she's very gentle with her voice with them. She looks at Scorchimus, and she's very gentle with her voice and trying to stay more towards Scorchimus' side than getting close to Allegory, and questions him, is Allegory better? Are you guys okay?
She's alive, but I think everything needs time.
Allegory's just, looking at her hands, not really sure. She's trying to sort through her memories and, make sure that those are, actually her hands, and they're not, somebody else's hands that were, put on her. She's just reeling.
Well, you found her. That's wonderful. It's going to be a long time for the recovery. Just don't lose her again, or we'll find you. and I will beat you up this time. She gives him like a gentle flick on the head with her finger instead of a punch, gentle flick on his forehead.
I give a careful wink and I hold out my hand towards Allegory.
She's just gonna kind of blink like real slow when you do that, and then she'll slowly reach out her hand, and with a teeny soft little smile, she'll put her hand in your hand.
I'll be there every step of the way.
Delina's like silently crying, just watching him like, so happy for you too. Excuse me, she turns around and just wipes her tears.
A grandfather clock noise can be heard, and a whomp, and the blind Vector Prime from Domina's timeline carefully steps in. Oh, here we go! The calamity has been dealt with, and the entanglement of the threads that once connected the primes across timelines has been severed. Domina, it's time to come home.
I was expecting to wait so long to be picked up like last time. Sir, I'm so sorry you had to come and pick me up. She's just like bowing her head and just wiping her tears away because she's just overwhelmed, expecting to wait.
Vector Prime's looking the wrong direction and he's just nodding.
Sir, follow my voice. I'm on this side. Just taps him on the leg when she reaches him.
Okay, there you are.
Scorchamus Allegory, this is Vector Prime from my timeline. You might have to raise your voice for him to locate you. As you can see, she points at her own eyes and in his eyes, like to indicate that he's blind.
Oh, 2 others that need to get to their own timeline. Well, off you go! And another grandfather clock goes ding, and you can see Scorchamus and Allegory get pulled in 2 different directions, but Scorchamus dives towards Allegory's way, and they go down the same portal. Alright, Domina.
She was so scared.
Time
She was so
to go.
scared.
I think a warning would have been nice for them, sir.
Warning? And a grandfather clock goes off, and both you and Vector Prime disappear.
Pew! Pew!
That guy has no chill.
No chill. And we fade to black, but we're going to return to the Wreckers and finish up their epilogue real quick. Scorchamus, you awaken at the Trio nightclub near the drinks section. Allegory, you appear a little farther back in the crowd at this nightclub. The bots at this point have started moshing, jumping up and down. It's at this point I'm going to have Allegory and Scorchamus roll perception.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to roll tonight. Oh my god. So scary. Perception.
I got a 15.
Allegory got a 9, which tracks because she's gonna be completely like frozen.
Yeah, you're overwhelmed. There's a lot of bots jumping up and down, and for you
She's
to,
frozen.
in a flash of white, just be somewhere else. But Scorchamus sees you, and he drops the drink in his hand immediately and goes to hold your hand to let you know he is here, and it's alright. At this moment, Frostfang and Synthwave, you saw the flash of light and the quick red bot rushing over to Allegory. What do you do?
I am immediately like spreading my wings out to make this massive,
Allegory looks
like
petrified, bro.
Yeah, I'm making this massive, making myself bigger so that basically I can barge through the crowd and people kind of move her, and Synthwave can go right behind me, so I can just kind of like make a beeline for them.
Move, everybody move. I'm like stuck right behind Frostfang, still holding her hand and following right along.
And everyone does move because both the owner and the bouncer is telling them what to do. Except for Allegory and Scorchamus in the middle of the dance floor as everyone else separates from the mosh pit. They're just holding hands.
Yeah, as I approach, I yank Synthwave forward to the front. I pick her up with one arm, and I go and I scoop Allegory up with the other. I am holding them close. I am hugging them. Scorchfire gets caught, or Scorchamus gets caught in the middle.
Allegory's like actually shaking.
I want to like.
Who are you?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've never seen you in so long.
Synthwave, Frostfang, you're alive.
You're okay.
I'm the sewers.
You're alive.
Oh my god.
Who's this guy?
It's been a minute.
Wait, I recognize him. Synthwave,
Oh,
didn't he like have the Sharkticon and
Yeah,
like,
you guys
Yeah.
know him. We were all in the sewers together.
Sorry, look, There's a little bit of wiper fluid in my eyes. I can't see. Okay.
Oh, I'm just so happy you're all here. That I'm squeezing everybody. Everybody's in my arms. You're all up in the air.
I thought I'd never see you again.
I don't know how we all got here, but I'm glad we're here together.
I missed you guys so much.
I missed you guys.
I missed you too.
I only know you on one mission, but I miss you guys too.
I missed you also.
I also missed you.
And with that, we fade to black. We're gonna move on to Smolder and Mantix.
Oh my
Pick it up.
stars.
We're gonna backtrack a little bit. Stormburst, Mantix, and Smolder that are surrounding the pile of ash that once was Scorchfire. Wow, we
I'm gonna
keep
cry.
That's
I'm gonna
horrifying.
cry.
keeping a dead horse.
Wow.
You guys were not really paying too much attention. You just noticed the absence of both Scourge, Domina, Scorchamis, and Allegory slowly disappearing. But afterwards, what would you like to do, Smolder, Mantix, and Stormburst?
I'm
Great
like
question.
sobbing. I'm like on the floor with my on my knees, and my hands are just kind of like scrabbling at what's left, just the ashes. And Smolder's a wreck. He's violently sobbing.
Mantix is gonna stand up because he was like kneeling down next to Scorchamis. Or Scorchfire. God, now I'm doing it too private.
Wow, Celeste, look what you
Wow.
did.
And is there anything left of Scorchfire, like maybe like a badge or anything?
Let me roll something.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Please, dice gods.
Yes. There's a badge. There's the hammer, the soulless hammer,
Can I have the hammer?
and her version of the Matrix. Not the silver Matrix, but the blue Matrix she once held. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Mantix is going to pick up the Autobot badge that's laying on the ground, and he's gonna I don't know if he has room for the forge. It's not really his style of weapon anyways, so he'll probably if Stormburst wants it or something,
I
he'll
want
probably You want it?
I really, really, really want it. I think it'd be really funny.
Okay. But first, before you can grab it, Mantix is gonna slowly stand up, and he's just gonna pick up Smolder and wrap him in his arm. And he's gonna say,
It's gonna be okay, Smolder. She paid the ultimate sacrifice for us, and going to miss her terribly, but you and I were gonna stick together, okay?
Yeah, but what are we gonna do without her?
I don't know, but I imagine we'll figure something out together.
It's just...
Stormburst, you've been kind of very quiet.
I was muted both ways. I just said I know because Mantix doesn't shut up. I'm a bit of
God!
Yeah, he's a
Every
bit of
time.
a yapper.
Wow.
Well, I was gonna crouch next to Smolder, but Smolder's been picked up, so I will walk over and I will look at Smolder and be like, Smolder, they may not be here with us physically, but as long as you keep them in your memory and close to your spark, they'll be with you wherever you go and will influence you on your journey.
I hope you're right, because she was the only person who ever really saw anything in me other than, Starscream. She kind of just took me in, and I've been with her ever since, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do without her.
Mantix pats you on the back. Just a little pat, pat, pat.
You know, Stormburst, I told you a long time ago that when all this was over, you were welcome to join us on whatever adventures came next.
I would love to, but I think I have a higher calling I need to do and to make sure this doesn't happen again.
We still get to see you?
I'll come and visit, but I feel like I need to go to the Vanguard and make sure that things change so that more timelines are protected.
I never went to the Vanguard, but they sounded like a bunch of pricks. So you have fun with that.
Whoa.
Hey,
Damn. Passing words.
Swordfest was pretty
Some of them
good.
were.
Is he allowed to say that?
I also would like to pick up Scorch's Matrix before anything else happens to it.
And I want the forge.
Okay. After that, a few days have passed and Stormburst left to start the Primus Vanguard or refix it or whatever anew. Smolder and Mantix, being the only ones left, went off to do adventures and bounty hunt, bringing justice across their timeline. Always helping especially those who need their assistance. From capturing thieves and bandits to rebuilding houses and fetching supplies, no tasks were too great and no chores too small. Of course, Smolder and Mantix would go on their own separate ways from time to time for each other's own vacations and the way they saw fit. And they lived fulfilled lives. They were never the same after the events of Eons, but they were happy. What do each of you do when you go on your own vacationings? We'll start with Smolder.
On the rare occasion where Smolder is not attached to Mantix's hip or, being babysat by Stormburst, because he absolutely goes and visits sometimes, he, I think, would spend a lot of time back on Velocitron and just kind of remembering what things were like when Scorchfire was still around. And I think he also would make an effort to put together like a Scorchfire fan club, but also he is the reigning he is the reigning leader of the Starscream fan club too. And he did create that. And he constantly shoves flyers in people's faces that has like a picture of, depending on which fan club. So it could have a picture of Scorchmas, or I'm sorry, it could have a picture of Scorchfire, or it could have a picture of Starscream. Either one, he's like,
Hey, I think you should join this fan club. I'm their #1 fan, and they're really cool. And also, I love them, and you have to love them too. And if you don't, I will find you, and I will steal everything in your house and eat it.
So he does forcefully make people join.
Oh, my promise.
That's pretty much, that's his vacation. He just goes out, he eats, gets people to join his fan club.
I support him. I buy him shirts with the with the picture of Starscream and Scorchfire on it, so that he can really have merch to sell.
Mantix has to go do damage control and reassure people that they will not have everything in their possession stolen from them.
But it has happened multiple times.
Yeah, it has, and then he has to talk to Smolder.
Mantix, what do you do during your vacationings?
Well, it's a great question. I would first like to say that I think when we buy our own ship, it's blue, obviously, to mimic the Blue Jay, and we kind of put up Scorchfire's matrix, and I like to think that Smolder would have made drawings of Scorchfire, and those are like taped on like a fridge around her matrix.
So he absolutely took like a crayon, by the way, and he drew on the outside of the ship, and it has Scorchfire's face, but it's really badly drawn.
Yeah, and he has to redo it anytime we travel, like, anywhere. And on his first vacation, Mantix would have gone and gotten Scorchfire's Autobot badge put on one of his shoulders, and the other one still carries his Decepticon badge because he came a long way from being just a Decepticon. Scorch and the crew really changed him in that way, but he'll never be as, like, patient and caring and kind as Scorchfire was, so he keeps that on his shoulder to always remember her and to carry a little bit of her wherever he goes. And he goes off and he does some bounties on his own. He never really could shake that bounty hunting bug, but he has morals now. And he also goes and visits the Vanguard. Yeah, and he just hangs out. He also doing damage control on Velocitron, obviously, making sure nobody disgraces Scorchfire's name. And yeah, he keeps the statue pristine. He'll go out there and, like, make sure it gets power washed, the statue of Scorchfire that was there after she won the presidency.
Mantix,
I remember that.
Mantix also absolutely has to go visit with Smolder to the one world where there's Watchdog and Alchemy.
Oh yeah, he didn't meet them.
Yes,
So when you go and
was
visit
gonna-
these other timelines, you have to have the Vanguard with you because you don't have TBD watches nor the
that's okay.
resources
We're
to
VIPs.
fix them. So I also want to bring in, I think, Grease in this moment. I think because I think
I adopt him as well.
this
Oh
is
my
the
God,
best
that's my
location
brother.
to have that.
That's
He's my
brother.
second child.
Grease, you wake up not near anywhere everyone else woke up, so you're not privy. You wake up on Velocitron, because remember, you were the leader there, and you still are until the next races. But you also wake up next to your mannequin wife, Oil, in one piece.
Ah, man, it's not. I forgot the name already.
Cyclonus.
Cyclonus.
Dude, he got downgraded.
Oh man.
He lost his wife.
Scorch can live, but Cyclone or not Scorch. Scourge can live, but not Cyclonus. I see how it is.
Well, Scourge was Scorch. Goddamn, no.
Guys.
This was made up of 3 different beings, and it was separated during the wish because they were killed, essentially. So, I'll let this out. Yeah.
Well, Grease wakes up. He sees Oil. He's very happy. He does remember Cyclonus, so he will try to investigate a way to bring Oil to life. Meanwhile, he leads Velocitron with equality and making sure that everything prospers. He's done with trying to be an all-ruling boss, and I hope that makes him lead for a few years.
Yeah, I think that's good. And I think you all lived your best lives, and we live happily ever after. For now, as we fade
Does Oil
into
become
black.
alive?
Yeah, Oil comes alive.
Woo!
We're gonna flip to Stormburst with their adventures of bringing a new vanguard together. Would you like to tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it was, I was going to say Scorch. Stormburst leaves Mantix and Smolder after a while. He returns back to the Vanguard, and he studies up on how you can get chosen to become the leader of the Vanguard. And slowly but surely, he makes his way up, and he becomes the leader of the Vanguard, and he starts making changes to the roster and making sure he has bots that are fair and make just decisions and not put one timeline over the other. And his first choice is to go to Scorchimus and ask him to join the Vanguard if he wants to. And also he wants to say sorry for what he did with the
We'll set the scene at the Trio bar or club. You create a portal, you step through, and you find Scorchimus. He's not really with the group, but he's like sticking around. Everyone's within the eyesight of each other, and he sees you coming through, and he orders you a thing of Energon.
Cool. I'll walk up to the group and be like, may I join the conversation? I don't mean to be rude.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Nice. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm here to talk some business, but also I wanted to say I'm sorry for the way I acted back at the time.
It was all stressful moments, you know, and I definitely had a part in that, and I definitely deserve that in some sense.
Yeah, but but my my emotions ran fast, and I feel like I should have taken in consideration what you had to do and the things you sacrificed as well. So I just wanted to say sorry about that, and I wanted to see if you would be interested in joining the Vanguard, a new Vanguard that I'm leading, to make sure that the timelines are protected and are being judged fairly and not taken like one takes priority over the others.
Is Allegory there?
No,
Primus?
no.
Okay.
No. It's just Scorchimus at the bar. Everyone else is like throughout the club, but they're not like near each other because they're all experiencing different parts of the club. There's Frostfang being a bouncer, Allegory hanging out with Synthwave, and Scorchimus is like doing his thing, trying to focus on each character getting their fair amount of
Yeah, no,
screen
I
time.
just wasn't sure if they were near each other.
This time. Scorchimus kind of looks at you for a moment, Stormburst, and looks around, and he's looking at Allegory, and he goes, you know, there was a time, I think, I would have said yes and taken you up on your offer, but I think I found my home.
I see.
But I think I need you to take something for me.
Oh, what is that?
And he opens his chest, and he takes out his matrix. I don't think I need this anymore. I don't need a matrix to tell me I'm worthy or that I'm for a higher purpose in any way. I just need to be me. And he kind of puts it into your hand, and he gives you a little slap on the shoulder and says, take care. I do hope we see each other again. And he walks off.
I will make sure about the serving receives this, and I wish you the best in your new life. Say hi.
You too.
Say hi to your friends for me. And
Will
if you
do.
ever need me, I'll give him a communicator of some kind. That if you ever need me, let me know.
And don't be a stranger, Stormburst. I like seeing that tailpipe walk around.
I'll come visit. And Stormbird just walks out of the bar.
And you walk out of the bar, and we fade to black. We're going to move on to our last ending here. That was the last time you were all together for a long time. Moments turned to memories, days turned to years, and years turned to decades. Until one day, while Stormburst, on one of his days off from leading the new Primus Vanguard and making the universe and timelines a better place, made a visit to Mantix and Smolder. You all arranged a location to be at the racetrack that brought back memories during your adventures on Velocitron, watching the annual race that decided this year's leader of Velocitron, hanging out at the top of the bleachers in a special private room to give you both privacy to catch up and to enjoy yourselves. As the cars and now jets, because that was the latest rule declared by Scorchfire when she ruled. What do you three talk about?
So, Stormburst, how's saving the world?
Very busy, but
Have you
I'm making change,
have
and
you-
I'm glad for that.
have you found any tasty morsels while you're out? Did you bring me anything? Any souvenirs?
Oh,
any
Primus
snacks? Or
I look at Mantix and be like, no, I didn't get you anything, and I
He
just kind of
shakes his
slip
head.
you.
Mantic
I
shakes his
slip you
head.
a little thing, Smolder, and it's just a little piece of metal that I
Oh,
found.
I salivate. I take it and it's
Has
in
like
my
the good
mouth.
minerals in it too, so it's very tasty.
Oh, I'm eating that.
This means you have to take him for the next 48 hours.
oh, this is so good. Thanks, Stormburst.
You're welcome, little buddy. So how's the catching bad guys going?
Oh my gosh, we caught this little guy the other day. He was kind of grungy. Didn't really like him. And Mantix got upset because I think he broke the door on the ship. And that totally wasn't me. It was absolutely him. And Mantix didn't like that very much. And also, I might have eaten his arm. But we're not gonna.
It's not as much work as it is looking after Smolder.
Oh, you love me. I'm the best.
A grandfather clock goes off, and a whoop, and steps forth through a newly made gear portal, the blind Vector Prime and Domina from Domina's timeline. Vector Prime reaches out for balance just as the heel of his foot slips on some unforeseen step. Who would have guessed? How would you like to respond? Including Domina.
Welcome, Domina. Good to see you.
People!
Sir! Sir! Domino right away trying to hold him. I got you, sir. Lean on me.
Mantix jumps to his feet.
Watch your step.
Thank you,
hi,
thank you, my
everybody.
What are
friend.
you doing here?
I come to check in on you all. You three are my first stop.
Oh my gosh,
Sorry.
Peepaw, how's it going? You're not my Peepaw, but I like you anyways because you're Peepaw. How are you?
Domino, who is this little one? As he
Oh.
points to some other direction.
Oh, guys, he's just joshing. He knows me. We go way back.
Domina guides his hand for him to be towards where Smolder's at. This is Smolder. He's very small, sir. Please don't squish him.
Oh,
Hey.
very good, very good.
And we have Mantix. Turns his hand a little bit more again. And then we have Stormburst over here too. Moves his hand. Try to guide him where everybody's positioned at.
Oh, perfect. That helps tremendously.
Good to see you, sir.
I would like...
Is everything all right?
Yes. No, actually. I would like to take you somewhere and show you something. A timeline is in danger of missing something irreplaceable, and I believe you 4 would all benefit from what they can offer you in return. Come, my children, come. One last adventure awaits you.
Sir, you're back.
It's not the last adventure, but I suppose... Come on, Smolder.
He's scuttled over. He's followed after.
I'm concerned. I haven't seen any of this, so I follow.
So he creates a grandfather clock portal once more, and you 4 go through Domina, Smolder, Mantix, and Stormburst. However, you notice Vector Prime did not follow, and the portal closes immediately behind you once you go through. Stormburst, Mantix, Smolder, Domina, you all find yourselves on a Cybertron. And from the looks of it, you are on a timeline before the Autobot and Decepticon war. Or maybe the war never happened here. Standing on the outside to you is a massive mechanic shop meant for starships. You watch as luxury class ships take off and some of them land inside. You hear the sounds of machines at work replacing bolts, cutting metal, and a wrench flying out of the shop, clanking on the ground, landing below your feet.
Oh no, you forgot to step in with us. Dominic looking behind where the portal had closed.
Where are we?
We supposed to be like looking at the ships, or
Does this happen often?
More than you can.
You hear a bot from the inside of this massive shop grunting, "Ricky, my wrench slipped out of my hand. I can't unstrap my harness at the moment. Do you mind fetching it for me, please?"
Danila points at Mantix. You do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
I do it. Like a dog.
Smolder, be
Just as
careful!
you're getting ready to do it, coming around one of the corner panels and out the garage door, a blue bot with door wings and nice wheelies on their heels. Hexamis, do you mind describing more who you'll be playing and what goals they have in mind, or anything else they say or do as they walk out of the mechanic shop to find the missing wrench?
I'm playing as Spitfire, a little mechanic, absolutely in her element. She loves to do this. It's easy to see from the little scuff marks and a bit of like grease on her cheeks and her head that she truly loves her job. But she comes around the corner, sees all these folks here suddenly in her shop, and she kind of stops and turns to them. Well, what's an unlikely group of bots like you doing at a place like this?
Hi.
wait, I look at Mantix, I look back,
He's frozen, bro. He's frozen. He's broken. He's broken. He's
I go and hug your leg. You don't know me, but I hug your leg.
Stormburst, what do you do?
I have a big smile and I'm like, what my friends here are trying to say is, nice to meet you, Stormburst.
Spitfire, what do you do as this red little gremlin of a bot runs through your leg to hug it?
She's gonna let him, but she's gonna eye him warily with the rest of them. I think she's gonna then like scoop this little guy up and hold him out in front of her and be like, "And who are you, little guy? Little man?"
like, hi, I'm Smolder. You don't know me, but I know you, and I miss so much.
Smolder, you're gonna scare her.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about him.
And Mantix is like gonna kind of like take a couple like nervous steps forward as he's like profusely apologizing and stumbling over his words.
I'm so sorry about him. He gets excited easy, and you remind us of a friend.
It must be some great friend if they have a reaction like this. Can I help you guys with anything?
I think we might be here to help you.
By the looks of the old man, how he spoke earlier. Yeah.
Me? She kind of like looks around a little bit.
Maybe this planet?
And it is at this moment you all realize what Vector Prime truly meant when he said this timeline was missing something irreplaceable. A chance to start again, this time without the shadow play, this time without the prophecies, this time without Shockwave pulling the strings, this time a truly happy ending where you get to be you and they get to be them, and a chance to discover that one thing together that is irreplaceable, friendship, and we end.
Oh my god, I'm crying again.
We found the baby. Thank you, Vector Prime.
Bro, my mom!
Special thanks to the
Oh my
players
God.
for putting up with me as their DM, as we wouldn't have had a story to tell without them. Thank you, Kilobyte, for helping me co-write and co-DM this season and being a wonderful player. I hope there were still twists and turns you've enjoyed.
Many.
Thank you, Hexamis, for being a fantastic player with dynamic emotions you bring with each character you've played, and for you being you. Thank you, Clickbait, for bringing enthusiasm when it comes to role-playing, and for always being zany, even when I've tortured your character. Thank you, Lapis, for bringing the gremlin energy and for being here and the dynamic variations of characters you both played and helped out with. Thank you, Celeste. I hope your first time playing Transformers D&D wasn't too traumatic and that you've had fun every step of the way.
I'll recover.
Again, thank you all so much.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you.
Thank you for a fun journey.
Thank you.
And I have another special thanks to all our listeners. Thank you for words. I'm not crying. Thank you for tuning in for Season 3 of Transform and Roll Out. We hope you'll return for Season 4, which has no release date yet, but a script is being written and our players will be getting ready to make their characters soon. Speaking of which, our homebrew Transformers D&D will probably release in 4 to 6 weeks, so keep an eye out or optic on our social medias for updates. The entire handbook will be a pay-what-you-want system, ranging from free to whatever you like. I believe imagination shouldn't be behind a paywall, but if you do chip in some shannocks, that greatly helps out the podcast, and we appreciate it greatly. And I look forward to seeing any and all adventures you have with our homebrew. Again, thank you so much. And until next time, till all are one.
Till
all
all
are
are
one.
one.